May I come in, sir?
Come. Come.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Ayan,
Yes, sir.
so you have been selected in IPS.
Yes, sir.
Not looking happy.
I'm very happy, sir.
Then?
Sir, I am certainly happy with IPS, but I feel in the IAS and IFS, I will be able to work in my areas of interest, such as education, and contribute more directly in developmental activities.
Don't you feel that IPS officers provide direct security to a person, physical security, which is more important than social or other security?
Sir, certainly the job of an IPS officer is extremely important. Sir, my decision was based on not only the importance but also my personal area of interest, sir, and also the.
What is that?
Sir, one would be the diversity that is offered in IAS and IFS, and also the areas of work, sir. For example, projects and initiatives in education.
How does an IFS officer contribute to social system domestically?
Yes, sir. Sir, I believe in today's world, the role of an IFS officer has expanded greatly when it comes to development, whether it is through encouraging better economic diplomacy or through technology transfer, which can ultimately help in the welfare of the nation, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. Must have heard about freedom of speech.
Yes,
Ayan?
sir. Yes, sir.
Right? And what about hate speech?
Yes, sir.
Do we have a term like this in our present law?
Sir, we do not have a term specifically for hate speech, but related provisions have been covered, sir.
Where?
Sir, in the erstwhile IPC, we had section 153A, which was for promoting enmity.
Is it justified to say it erstwhile IPC?
Sir,
Has these new laws been implemented?
Sir, they have not been implemented yet, sir, but they have been passed, sir, and they have received the Honorable President.
So, where in IPC?
Sir, section 153A was regarding promoting enmity between groups, especially on the grounds of religion, sir.
Okay, and what is the contribution of social media in spreading hate speech?
Yes, certainly, sir. Social media allows anonymity and very fast travel, fast movement of data, information. Hate speech has often been done through social media for this reason, sir.
So, do we have a provision in Nyaya Sanhita to regulate such social media operations?
Sir, I will have to check once again, sir, but the IT Act does have one related provision, sir.
Okay. So,
yeah. Thank you, sir.
So, you are just opting for two, IAS and IFS?
Yes, sir.
Foreign service?
Yes.
I see. And what can you say about India's foreign policy? Let me put it in 2 or 3 contexts. One is, has there been a change, or this is basically a continuum? People say, meaning it is foreign policy is dependent upon interests, and interests don't really change all that much, so there is a continuum in foreign policy. That is what we hear in India also. So what do you think about Indian foreign policy, let's say, over the last 10-15 years?
Sir, I believe the core focus of our foreign policy continues to be pursuing our own national interests. But sir, India's position globally has changed. Now we have become a very powerful and important nation, and we are able to assert our sovereignty and importance in various ways. So the nature in which our foreign policy manifests, that has changed, sir.
What are the few words, 3 or 4 words, by which you will characterize India's foreign policy over the last 10 years?
Sir, I would say assertive and self-interest driven.
But you said self-interest driven, it was always there,
yes.
That is always. So how has that been manifested in terms of, self-interest and assertive also?
Yes, sir. Sir, one is certainly that our defense capabilities and our hard power has increased significantly, which has allowed us to maintain our strategic autonomy, to face off our rivals, and to handle our conflicts in a much better manner. Secondly, sir, with respect to our diplomacy with other nations also, we are not bound by USA's sanctions or other any demands from USA or other nations. We are able to maintain our relations with other countries based on our interests, sir.
But, when the United States decided that in 2018 that we should not buy oil from Iran, so we succumbed. When the United States decided that, the world should not buy oil from Venezuela, we also agreed. So oil, we are importing how much % of our crude oil requirements?
Sorry, sir, I will have to check the exact number.
Yeah, okay, it's around 85%.
Yes.
So when we are dependent for so much of oil, and if the United States says don't import from Iran, we agree. They say don't import from Venezuela, we agree. So how is it that we are not going by their diktats?
Sir, in this regard, I believe it is because we have to manage our relations with the United States also. But sir, we have also seen other instances, like when it comes to Russia, we did not follow any sanctions, we did not resist any oil imports from Russia, rather we increased them. So there have been instances where we have continued our personal interest, even when USA or other countries requested not to, sir.
What do you see as the difference between non-alignment and strategic autonomy?
Sir, non-alignment was specifically a movement during the 1970s and during Cold War era so as to not align with either of the major blocs, major powers. Strategic autonomy means, sir, when a country can follow its national interests and activities without being bound by other nations.
And you think these are two entirely different aspects?
Sir, I believe they are related, and non-aligned movement was one aspect of strategic autonomy, I would say, sir.
And there was a paper that was issued very recently, by some of the mandarins of Indian foreign policy and those who have conducted. And they came out with a paper, Non-Alignment 2.0. How do you think that is different from the earlier non-alignment and the current strategic autonomy, what you say?
Yes, sir, I have heard about the non-aligned movement 2.0, sir. Sir, I believe it is about creating a more multipolar world and not being on either the side of the West or being on the side of China, which is considered as another pole in this world. And sir, strategic autonomy, I believe, is the overarching concept behind this, that a country does not try to follow the orders or the instructions of any other country. Rather, it follows its foreign policy in an independent manner based on its own interests. Okay. Sir, I will certainly gain more clarity on this.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ayan, you tell me, are you satisfied with the working of the policing?
Sir, I believe there is a need for improvement, but police also deserves appreciation, sir.
I will give you one area for your suggestion. You see, today also, if somebody wants to lodge a complaint, say an FIR,
yes,
people think twice, collect some influential person, then only go to the police station for lodging a FIR. Otherwise, people will shoo them off, say that you come tomorrow or you don't come or whatever. They were turned off. How do we remedy this situation of police not willing to register the FIR?
Yes, sir. Sir, this has certainly been the case, and people, especially women, are apprehensive. So, sir, one solution is the training of police personnel to become more sensitive towards the people so that they file more FIRs when it is appropriate. Second, sir, the provisions of EFIR and Zero FIR, they will help in this regard, sir. People will
What is EFIR?
Sir, EFIR is the online filing of FIR application. Sir, so people will not have to come to interface with police, so they will not be scared. And
are there any negative aspects of EFIR?
Sir, one I believe is false cases may be registered in a large extent, sir.
Okay. Yes. Any particular application software is there for this EFIR or something? Something to do with electronics or whatever networking and all that in police on this subject?
Sir, I have heard about it but not able to recall, sir.
You know about CCTNS?
Yes, sir.
So what it stands for?
Yes, sir. So the Criminal Crime Tracking Network System, sir, I'm forgetting 1C. But
okay,
yes,
it doesn't matter. Now I am giving you a proposition. Think about it and tell me.
Yes.
Proposition is related to electrical. You see, we are using high voltage AC for transmitting energy from one place to another. And there are problems with that. Losses are there. Transmission losses are there.
Yes.
My suggestion is that we will transmit energy, electrical energy, by using low voltage DC from one place to another. That will result lesser losses on the way. Is there any problem there?
Sir, in my understanding, transmitting power at a lower voltage leads to more losses for the same power because power is voltage into current.
No, not with the same power. I mean, whatever power can go
Okay, yes, sir.
without losses, I will send only that much power which
Yes.
goes without losses.
Sir, then certainly we will be able to transmit less power. But overall, sir, high voltage is preferred because of it causing less losses, sir.
High voltage DC, what do you say?
Sir,
Why
that,
not high voltage DC?
yes, sir. So that would ultimately lead to lower losses. But sir, that would require infrastructure for stepping up the voltage, which India presently does not have, sir.
Very good. Any interesting news which you saw today?
Sir, the papilloma virus is an interesting news, sir, regarding the cervical cancer immunization, sir.
Immunization.
Yes.
So, what is being done on that?
Sir, an immunization drive or a mission, I believe, is being done for women of age 9 to 14, so that so the risks of cervical cancer can be reduced significantly.
Cervical cancer, no, you said?
Yes, sir.
Or some other word is there?
Yes, sir. Sorry, I think I mispronounced, sir. Yes, sir.
Someone. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So I want to know something about NEP 22. You have read about it?
Yes, ma'am.
In which context? Like you've completely read the document?
No, ma'am. I know about the features, ma'am.
About the higher education?
Yes, ma'am, to some
So
extent.
two policies which you think should be reformed, and in 2 points, you can say out of the entire draft, do you think where are the 2 points where it should be, according to you, should undergoing some reforms, further reforms?
Ma'am, one would be regarding the easy multiple entry and exit system. Ma'am, I believe that may cause problems when some students do not know which fields to work in. They might start college in one area and then leave it to another, which may cause problems in the employability because we have certain jobs with certain demand. Second, ma'am, regarding multidisciplinarity is certainly a good idea. But again, ma'am, the need has to be for industry-academia linkage. So it should be carried out in a proper manner.
Have you heard about prisoner's dilemma?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, can you explain that?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, prisoner's dilemma is considered an application of game theory. Ma'am, there are two people who have been caught, who have been convicted for a crime. It has, sorry, ma'am, not convicted. They are being questioned, and they are questioned independently. Ma'am, there are different punishments. If both of them do not confess to the crime, then both of them go to jail for 1 year. If one confesses and other does not confess, then the one who confesses goes to jail for 2 years and other for 10 years. Ma'am, it is something on those lines.
Yeah. So what is the solution to that?
Ma'am, the solution is for both of them to think in the larger interest, not to be selfish, but to think of the optimal solution.
What is the name? What is the name of the solution?
Ma'am, in game theory, it is Nash equilibria. Here, ma'am.
Okay. Is there any application of this in geopolitics?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, game theory in general has huge applications because, ma'am, any country when it designs its own foreign policy, it takes into account the policies of other nations in a preemptive manner about what the other countries are planning, what their interests are, and accordingly it arrives at its own decision, ma'am. Ma'am, similar to Nash equilibria, one country cannot unilaterally change the status quo, ma'am.
Any application which you think of mathematics model which is being used in national account statistics of India?
Ma'am, I'm not aware of the account statistics, ma'am.
Okay, so input-output model you've heard?
Ma'am, I've heard about it.
You've not used it?
No, ma'am.
In mathematics also?
Ma'am, I have not personally used any models or
But
maybe...
read about it? Matrix?
Ma'am,
Determinants?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is input-output model?
Ma'am, I have not come across this exactly.
All right. Convexity, you know about convexity?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am.
Concept of convexity in maths.
Yes, ma'am.
What is, why, where is it used and how it is used in finding an equilibrium?
Ma'am, I know the rough idea. Convexity deals with the increasing slope of a curve. If it increases, then it is a convex. If it decreases, then it is concave.
What role it plays in finding the equilibrium? I would like to...
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. I'm not aware, ma'am.
Okay. For resource optimization, which technique you can use from mathematics?
Ma'am, linear programming is involved. So, ma'am, simplex technique can be used. Or, ma'am, today's softwares are also there.
Okay. Again, I will say resource optimization.
Yes, ma'am.
Natural resource optimization, specific to that.
Ma'am, sorry, just to clarify, ma'am, as in a mathematical technique? Or?
Mathematical technique using calculus.
Ma'am, I'm aware of linear programming for this very purpose.
It's a natural resource optimization where you go to mines extraction. So what methodology? It is connected to calculus. Which method will you use for that?
Ma'am, one thing is coming to my mind
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a gradient descent concept, but I will read more about it.
Okay, dynamic optimization, have you heard?
No, ma'am, sorry.
The last question, if you given a scenario when energy transition is happening, the strategic resource which we till now in conventional energy scenario, we were using hydrocarbons,
Yes,
right? Oil, natural gas. Now, what is going to be the displacement or replacement of that, according to you?
Ma'am, in renewable energy, ma'am, solar and wind has the highest potential.
It may not be renewable,
Yes,
any kind of transition.
Yes, ma'am.
So it may not be renewable. Transition can happen in many ways. So what is the new future? I mean, what are you visualizing?
Yes, ma'am.
Strategic, geopolitical resource.
Ma'am, nuclear energy definitely has a future, but technological advancements have to be made. And solar, I would still believe, ma'am, has immense potential and efforts are being made in that direction.
What is going to be the resource? Means I'm talking about the technological resource, the input.
Yes. Ma'am, usually data is considered as a very important resource in this regard.
Okay.
Very
Data
sorry,
is
ma'am.
considered.
I think I did not
No, you
understand
can
the
think
question.
more in case you want to spend 1 minute more on this. Think about it.
Yes. Very sorry, ma'am.
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, Ayan. First and foremost, thank you for having answered our distinguished panelist question about prisoner's dilemma.
Yes.
She had been putting this question to almost all the candidates without getting the right answer.
Yes.
I have one in store for you as well, but that I'll come to later. Now, tell me first and foremost, what is it that still drives you to sit for this exam? Is it the improved service conditions of, or better service conditions of an IAS or IFS, or the sheer joy of getting a good position, good rank?
Sir, I would say it is the nature of work, sir, especially when it comes to the administrative service. When I hear about projects being done, such as when I heard a story about the Mandla district becoming the first fully functionally literate district in India, despite being the most backward district, I was very inspired, sir, that I would also like to work directly in these areas, sir.
And anything related to foreign service also?
Yes, sir. Sir, foreign service, I believe, overall presents a very diverse job profile. Sir, when it comes to foreign service, I was quite divided between foreign service and policing, sir.
Okay, okay. Does the ambience here remind you of your past for a significant period of time?
Sir, in which context, sir?
In whatever context, look around.
Sorry, sir, I'm not able to understand.
There is nothing in the name, no? Name is...
Yes, sir. Very sorry, sir. My school was named Sanskriti, sir.
Okay. So names aren't that important. It doesn't rekindle your memory at all. Huh?
Sir,
Or is
sorry,
it
sir.
does?
Sir, I believe I was thinking in the wrong direction, sir.
Okay. You are interested in chess and you have done something with respect to chess as well. You have participated in competitions and won medals also, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Have you?
Yes, sir.
Now tell me, what all can you do? You are a mathematics student as well. So what all can you do to make chess a public sport? When I say public sport, what I have in mind is make a public spectacle out of it, so that there are people watching
Yes.
a chess match live. I mean, you have all digital devices with you. You have all algorithm. When we watch cricket match, we are bombarded with all sorts of statistics that this is the possibility of this fellow getting out on first ball or in the first over, or he will go on to score 200 because this is how it is. So tell us.
Yes, sir. Sir, first I believe that I would like to increase the popularity of chess in terms of people who play it, because those who play it themselves would certainly be interested in watching events. This can be done, sir, by introducing chess at school level, by distribution of boards, and also popularizing it through social media. Secondly, sir, I believe sponsorships can go a long way in this regard when they will themselves try to present good events. For example, sir, in India also we had events called death match between the young champions of our nation. Thirdly, sir, as you mentioned about technology and making it engaging, sir, I believe promoting speed chess is the way in this direction. People, sir, often do not want to watch something that is slow, and usually chess matches last for 4 or 5 hours. So, speed chess such as Bullet and Blitz will make the experience highly enriching and will make people have fun, sir.
Okay, no use of statistics to show the probability, the options available for one particular player vis-a-vis the other and so forth. So you can't wow the audience through statistics. You can't.
So that is actually already being done to a great extent, sir. There are many chess channels such as chess.com and chessbase who analyze the chess matches on a lifetime basis. They present the evaluation bar, which shows the winning probability or the advantage a particular player has, and also they analyze all the possible moves using chess engines, which allows players to again engage in the match by themselves, sir.
Still, it hasn't done much good to the popularity of the game.
Sir, not as much as speed chess, I believe, sir.
Okay, now let's come back to the question that I was thinking of.
Yes.
Visualize the world map of 1700.
Yes.
Will there be United States of America there?
No, sir. It was a British colony.
Okay, right. Africa, Australia, all are there.
Yes.
Right? Now I'm giving you one statistics. Indian contribution in the world trade in 1700 was to the tune of 24%.
Yes.
That was also the time when Mughals were on decline. British were making inroads into Indian economy. Leapfrog to 1950. British gone. But at that point of time, the contribution of Indian economy to or Indian trade to world trade is 2.4% or say 3%.
Yes.
What is to be blamed for this?
Sir, one is certainly the exploitation done under the British rule, which depleted natural resources and wealth of India to a great extent. Secondly, I also believe, sir, that when India was a colony, the movement of goods was facilitated in an easy manner through the British ships, because British Navy was highly praised and highly developed even at that
Was
time.
India a colony in 1700? Was India a British colony in 1700?
Very sorry, sir. It was in mid 1750s onwards that it became a colony, sir. Sir, I believe these two are major reasons. Sir, other than that, one more reason can be that other countries also became more active in trade. So countries were able to diversify from India. But I will have to read more about it, sir.
Okay. Take it.
Thank you, sir.
Ayan, you were talking about NAM 2.0
Yes.
and strategic autonomy, what sir had told.
Yes.
What is the contribution of enhancing domestic capabilities in this kind of policy?
Sir, I believe the contribution has been more indirect and long term. Sir, when a country asserts its own autonomy, it is able to take decisions beneficial for itself. For example, we do not have to succumb to United States ideological tendencies, and we can choose our interests. For instance, sir, when we import oil from Russia, we are choosing economic propriety rather than ideology of USA.
So when you want to enhance domestic capabilities to ensure strategic autonomy,
Yes.
then you have to multi-align,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So how will the non-alignment be relevant?
So the non-alignment helps to align oneself, align one country as per the issues and the matters, rather than being permanently aligned to a particular nation or bloc, sir.
Right. Thank you, Ayan. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. May I come in, sir? Thank you, sir.
Take your seat.
Yes.
So, Ayan, obviously you are a good candidate. That's how you have been already getting marks which put you in IPS. Okay. So now only 2 services you are looking for.
Yes.
So obvious question is that are you not satisfied with the Indian Police Service?
Yes.
So for that you have to prepare a very convincing answer. Convincing answer will always be the positive aspects of the 2 services, not a negative aspect of Indian Police Service.
Yes.
So that's the basic principle. And in those whatever you will be able to achieve as a IAS officer. So what is that? You see, you get better opportunities of doing good for the country as a IAS officer. No doubt about that. And second is, whatever said and done, ultimately the career prospects for an IAS officer are much more than an Indian Police Service officer. That you have to accept that.
Yes.
So these are the 2 prime considerations. Now Indian Foreign Service obviously gives you a totally different arena of operations, which again brings laurels to you if you are interested in that. So if you excel in that, not only you do good for the country, you also bring a good name for yourself. So that's how you will be showing that you love to be an IAS officer or a Indian Foreign Service officer.
Yes.
Don't have anything negative about what were already there.
Yes.
Okay? This is the one thing. What you will study, whatever are the comparative and developmental figures of your own state, which is Madhya Pradesh,
Yes.
with the neighbors. क्या कहते हैं आजकल सस्टेनेबल क्या गोल कहते हैं ना?
Sorry.
SDGs.
Okay. Yes, sir.
तो ये सब पढ़ के रखिएगा. Comparative figures that will become very important for you.
Yes.
And whatever the government schemes are there in different aspects. By now there may be more than 100 schemes.
Yes.
So any particular scheme which will be interesting to your state, Madhya Pradesh, that you read about those schemes. Okay? Or India and its neighbors. Where you will get that? On
Any website. Sir.
External Affairs Ministry's website, you will get India and its neighbors.
Yes.
So whatever the issues are there between the neighbors, that you find out. And still that thing remains valid, that more than 40% of the world is going for a vote.
Yes.
Bangladesh has already gone, Taiwan is
Taiwan.
there today, friends in UK, USA, so I think Russia also, though the conclusion may be foregone, but they are there.
Yes.
So the world is going for elections. In which context that will be useful to us? So that you have to prepare. And always keep a positive note. Positive note will help. At no point in anywhere you should have a negative.
Yes.
Okay? Otherwise, dress sense, everything else, sitting sense, answering sense, everything is okay. Occasionally, you need to be slightly at a lower pace.
Yes.
कहीं कहीं क्या हुआ, थोड़ा सा स्पीड ज़्यादा हो गया है. तो उससे क्या है, if your interview is with the people who are a bit older, then they may not be able to grasp what you are willing to say. तो वो थोड़ा सा pace को,
Yes.
say around 10%, make it a bit more, so that you are better understood by the parties. ठीक है?
Yes.
और with this we'll say good luck to you. Sir, और कुछ बताना होगा?
I think बाकी तो ठीक ही है. Nothing is to be worried. Just have a look over these new laws.
Sir, BN.
Nyaya Sanhita and
Yes, sir.
right. Just broader, in broader sense.
Yes.
What are the new changes? Like new crimes have been defined.
Yes.
Hate speech and organized crime.
Yes.
So they may pick up a thread. Like suppose you say that organized crime is defined. They may pick up a thread. What exactly are the organized crimes?
Yes.
Right. That's all. Rest all are fine.
Yeah, I think by and large. And I think since you are targeting for the Foreign Service, focus on that, particularly in terms of developments that have taken place last year. I'm sure a little bit about G20 might come, a little bit about India's relations with the United States, the manner in which and how we are sort of, is the United States trying also to pressurize us. You might also get something like, whatever is mentioned in the international media as far as democratic backsliding is concerned, as far as the condition of minorities in India is concerned. that you are quite likely to get. And otherwise, some of the other developments that have been taking place, I think it will be just after the visit of President Macron to India in terms of India-France relations. How is it going, and particularly since Macron is under so much of pressure in France itself. His popularity ratings have come down, so was it. So I think a broad overview of the relations, as far as India's relations are concerned. Definitely India's relations with the Middle East and with West Asia, particularly in the context of Israel-Hamas, and then involvement of Iran and the Houthis and so on and so forth. And how has India's policy been? Because we came to the support of Israel right at the beginning. At the end, how we have nuanced our policy with respect to the other countries.
Yes.
So I think that you should read a little more. And I think it will be useful for you to look at non-alignment or non-alignment 2.0, different from strategic autonomy. Because fine, strategic autonomy was an element of that, but that was, you're not taking a stand. Here we are taking a stand.
Yes.
We are aligning, meaning we have said, as far as our relations with the United States are concerned, and even as far as Russia is concerned, we say it's a time-tested relationship. So where this is a sort of multi-alignment rather than non-alignment, strategic alignment rather than non-alignment. So I think in that context, try to get a little more clarity as far as your concepts are concerned. Yeah?
Yes.
And basically, I think what you can add, the Foreign Service provides you with such a huge diversity, in terms of areas, whether it is economic, whether it is security, whether it's disarmament, whether it's culture. Different places you go, you have different challenges and different opportunities. And that's very exciting.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's no point playing safe as a matter of strategy for your examination at this stage, right? How has been your mains performance compared to the last time?
Better, sir.
Better. Okay, so there is everything to gain, nothing to lose. You can be little adventurous and experimentative in your interview, right? So your answers have to be cutting edge level, right? And you need to strategize differently, right? So I would advise you, it is personal advice, maybe that panel members may not share it, but since you are in this position where you have everything to gain and nothing to lose, you can try little differently and prepare for this examination at a different level altogether.
Yes.
Right? You already are very articulate and sophisticated in your outlook. Try to read the cutting edge developments in all these segments, particularly the foreign relations, and also the choice that you make and your subjects, right? Mathematics, right? And focus more intently on the demand of the question. My chess question was not about promoting chess.
Yes.
It was about making it more spectacular for viewers, right? So get some examples of similar sports being transformed into good business model in terms of spectatorships.
Yes.
Right? So such things can be worked upon, right? Otherwise,
fundamentals of maths. When we talk about simple things like input, output, convexity, these are class 12, exactly class 12. Okay, so this is really expected from you. What is the application, next level application? Dynamic optimization and all this. Law of large numbers is very important. Okay, law of large numbers should be on your tips. Just the application, the concepts I'm talking about, that is your main subject, main paper in mathematics. That's it. And then climate change related to environment, all the current events you should be updated, what policies, geopolitical issues related to climate change, energy transition, that should be very versed off. You being an electrical engineer, so energy, electricity, that is very important. Next.
Right, Ayan?
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, all the best.
And you are facing
well.
the board?
Not in first phase, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.